Madison has undergone some big changes over the last couple of decades. Looking at State Street in 2001, it's hard to imagine a downtown without Overture Center.
Well, it isn't just the facilities for the arts and the cultural groups downtown. I'm doing this to revitalize and to bring people downtown, to continue the momentum and the excitement I think that Winona Terrace has brought to the downtown area, and I think that this is going to even improve upon that.
Through the unprecedented generosity of Jerry Frautschi and Pleasant Rowland, Overture was given to Madison to transform downtown and become a true gathering place for the arts.
Jerry's early dream of this is the first time I remember the concept coming up, and it was Jerry's. And he had been asked to contribute to what was going to have to be an art center built out of the core center of the city, and he very much wanted it to be downtown. And so he had the idea of Overture at that time. When the Yost building came for sale, he said, I think I'm gonna buy it. And so he, on the quiet, bought it. And what happened is what we sit in today, but out of that started to form a bigger idea.
Overture's impact on Madison was immediate, and the number of people who come to visit, live, work, and play here has grown exponentially. Overture's transformation into a center for the arts for all began through the hard work of Ted DeDee.
I met Ted, and we just talked about what Madison could be. He asked what causes barriers for folks in my community coming and enjoying the Overture Center. And he listened. I felt like he really wanted to know what I was asking.
Every neighborhood has a culture here, and we were just amazed and entranced with how rich it is. But Overture was nowhere to be seen in any of that mix whatsoever. So I felt it critically important that Overture now be a part of community activity too.
And when I started seeing that the performances were changing and that Ted and his staff were making sure that other acts were coming, that really intrigued me. And through discussions and inviting community people to come in and find out about some of the offerings, it really got me excited about what's happening.
You know, there was a time in Madison where the future of culture and arts and even this building were in question. And I was on the city council, and I remember conversations in the mayor's office about what would happen if we weren't able to sustain this building. What would come of it? I mean, those were very scary days, thinking about what would happen to the street, to the downtown. What message would it send about this community if we were unable to sustain this amazing gift? And it was Ted's leadership that I think created that moment where, as community leaders, we could step back and say, he's got this. Right? There's somebody who has the insight and the intellect, the know-how, and the gumption to get it done. And from that moment on, from the time that Ted was hired, which was right around the time I became chamber president, I have never once worried about, wondered what might happen, because I know at the helm was an amazing leader and someone that we're going to miss in this community.
What an amazing gift you gave me with your leadership and your encouragement these past 6 years. You have been important to so many people, but I want to tell you how important you are to me. You were really the one who started me with my art career and my nonprofit, letting me come and paint, take a bow for Pleasant Rowland and Jerry Frautschi's 10th anniversary gift was an honor and an amazing opportunity. It's been an honor and a blessing to work with you and your team, Mr. DeDee, because I knew you. I have been changed for good. I will really deeply miss you. Mr. DeDee, take a bow. Thank you.
During Ted's tenure, Overture's community programs expanded to give tens of thousands of children, students, families, and individuals the opportunity to experience the arts. But what started with Frautschi's vision and grew through Ted's leadership has been sustained through the generosity of donors like you.
We've been coming to Overture on-stage performances for 5 years. Our students are with us on a temporary basis. They're living in the facility where I teach at the Dane County Juvenile Shelter Home. So they're there for a brief amount of time. I typically average 7 school days with each of my kids, and many of my students haven't set foot in a performing arts hall before. The exposure to the arts piece of attending on-stage performances is awesome because a lot of my students haven't had great exposure to arts within their school settings.
And our students love the experience of getting on a bus and driving downtown and going to the theater and sitting in the theater seats and seeing performers. It's so important for our kids to see and experience that because that is real life. That's learning in a real life situation.
They come back to school with huge smiles. They come back to schools with a lot of stories to tell. It definitely adds on to their experience as kids, as members of the community, as learners. It's such an impactful experience.
And so excited to find out there are actually careers that they could do in the arts, like it hadn't occurred to them. But it also came from this yearly pilgrimage to the Overture that they take. And I thought that was an amazing connection and really makes me see how having the arts in our school is such an important activity and important feature that we really need to work hard to get into our school and give to these students.
Your support allows students of all backgrounds to gain new cultural understanding and expand their horizon of opportunities. Through access to the arts, students score better in science and writing and are more likely to aspire to attend college. Your support encourages local artists and performers to achieve things they never dreamed to be possible.
Music is more important than notes. It's how it makes people feel. And I knew that I had to do music because I'd been to a couple of movies and I walked in and just listening to the music and the film scores, I think my parents thought I might have lost my mind, but I was just in the theater crying and they're like, "What is wrong with you?" And at that point, I'm like, I have to do something related to music because I want to make people feel what I just felt. And the only way that I can do that is by going into music. Winning Rising Stars, it's opened so many doors, and I'm so excited to open for Branford Marsalis in a year. Yeah, it's a household name, and I never expected to I didn't know if I would even be able to ever see a concert by Branford Marsalis, not to mention open for him. So it's really overwhelming. Yeah, it's been so impactful, and I'm really thankful for Rising Stars.
Overture's community programs are at the heart of our mission. Your support of programs like On Stage and Rising Stars has changed the lives of countless people in Madison and beyond. Since opening its doors 14 years ago, Overture Center has transformed downtown, Dane County, and each and every one of us. With your help, we will continue to welcome new generations, new audiences, and new communities through our doors. We look forward to our next chapter of transformations with you at our side. Together, we elevate Madison through extraordinary shared artistic experiences for all. The impact is immeasurable. Thank you.